No, that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds 353. Mets 11:27 a.m. Dixie 8:27 p.m. Alone with his thoughts during the previous half hour, Balloony had played telepathic hopscotch with James Nunn and John Fleming, all three Brentsies, the captain of the HMAS Burchell, John Mullen, the communications officer aboard the RAHGA Robinson, William Rose, and Edward Shippen, captain of the Lady Penryn. Nunn's mental state vacillated between euphoric anticipation of what he would do with his $50,000 bonus for transporting Brent Brentsie to the Penryn, fear that he would be swindled or even killed, and peevishness over the amount he'd have to give to his semi-worthless accomplice, John Fleming. Fleming's thoughts, meanwhile, were more scattered. Emotionally, he was far less trepidatious than his captain. His only fear was that Nunn would cheat him out of a portion of the $50K. Any portion. He guffawed his 50,000 a year will buy a lot of beer. A line from the Timbuk 3 song, Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades, once again played in his head. The captain of the Australian Navy's destroyer Burchell, John Mullen, was excited to be steaming full speed ahead towards his quarry, but was skeptical of his sitrep information that stated that the smaller vessel was a charter fishing boat and the larger a cargo ship, and that while those on board both vessels were almost certainly armed, neither vessel had artillery. A situation that made him extremely curious as to the nature of those on board, considering the immensity of the observation and interception operation of which the Burchell was playing an essential part. William Rose, the communications officer on board the RAHGA Robinson, a Sikorsky S-70A Black Hawk helicopter, was focused on receiving radio transmissions from the Burchell, as well as Naval Base Brisbane, and communicating pertinent information to both his captain and his second-in-command as they began hovering above the Werere. Edward Shippen, the Lady Penryn's captain, had spent the last few hours smiling broadly as he anticipated rendezvousing with the Werere, but had found himself growing more and more perplexed by the large ship that had been making a beeline towards his vessel, even as the Werere did likewise. "Galimba!" he shouted at his radio operator. "Hail that big-ass ship's in steaming for us and make sure that they see us." "Aye, aye, 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 aye," Fabian Galimba responded. "I have, and I will again. I cannot make him respond, Captain." "Calm down, Galimba," Shimpa said. "Straighten up and fly right, or I'll get a new radio band when we get to Turonipo, and you can make your own bloody way back to Manila. We should be finished with the transfer in less than 10 minutes, and then we'll be back underway." "Batak, Capitan. I come from Batak. Not that it matters. Just I am with you. I just wish that damn ship would respond." "Like I said, we'll make the transfer and then skedaddle," Shippen replied. "Now hail that fishing boat and tell them to come alongside." "Aye, aye, Captain. Hailing the Werere," Galimba said to Shippen before lifting his microphone to his mouth and transmitting. "Werere, this is the Penryn. You have permission to come alongside for personal transfer. Over." "Aye, aye, Penryn. Werere coming alongside. Over." None transmitted.